In this video, we're going to talk about unit vectors. Okay. As I have mentioned before, a unit vector is a vector where you change every component accordingly, so that at the end you will get a vector of line 1, the magnitude of 1. What will happen is actually, if you look at this example, currently the vector for you here is 7, 3, 1. It's just that instead of putting it in a curvy bracket, in a pointy bracket, they put it in a form of equation like this. Right? We still read the same. We have x7, y3, and 1 is for z. Okay, and this is the vector of u. Now they want us to find the unit vector in the direction of u. Okay, and by the way, when you have looked for the direction vector later, the notation will be changed a little bit, where you need to input, right? You need to write down u hat like this. So now, how to change this value of x, y, and z, so that later in the end you will get 1. Why don't we try to refer to our previous example, which is we did a calculation for the length of CA before, right? Which is this. We have the magnitude, which is -8, 5, -2. Or if I try to change it in a form of equation, right, I'm going to have -8i plus 5j minus minus 2k. So this is the same. Now to change this into unit vector, right, the same as we need to figure out how to change this value, that later when we calculate for its length, we'll get 1. As for now, the length is cert 93. So let's try to look at it graphically. Now we are looking at this, right? Currently we are talking about C to A here. We already know that this length is cert 93. Our mission now is to change the vector, to recalculate this vector, right, which is the difference from C to A, so that later when we calculate for its length, you will get 1. In other words, when we conduct a unit vector, this length will now shorten. Currently it is 93 or 9 point something. It will later being reduced to 1. So maybe the line will be shortened. Later we are going to talk about the purpose of unit vector, but now let's try to calculate that. Now we're not going to use the example in the book, so let's try to use the example that we already know. Now to calculate for the unit vector for CA is quite simple, where you just need to let's try to put it like this, right? Let's try to talk about the notation first. Let's say that CA here, okay, is equal to U. Okay, let's try to establish that. Okay, so CA is equal to U. Okay, this one. So to find the unit vector also means that we'll need to find the U hat, right? This one, and we need to find the hat. Alright, so this is the unit vector. And how do we actually calculate for unit vector? Right, it is quite simple. You'll just need to divide each of these component to its magnitude, which is set 93. Right, so you just need to basically to change this vector into a unit vector, where when you calculate for its modulus, you will get 1 is by changing its value, by dividing its value of x, y, and z to their magnitude. Right? Let's try to do that. So basically, to find it, you'll just need to change the component. Instead of just 8, now it is actually 8 over cert 93. As for y, instead of 5, now it becomes 5 over cert 93. And then for this one, instead of -2, now it becomes -2 cert over cert 93. Okay, if you try to put it in a form of equation, right, it will become I j minus k, like this. So when you put it in this form, you will see later when you try to calculate for its modulus or its length, right, you should get, right, so calculate for its length, I will change this, right, this is how we calculate for the length, right, plus sorry, this should be over 2, the power of 2, sorry, and for this one okay, when you calculate this, you should get 1. Alright, so unit vector, just simply find out what is the length and divide each of its component to its length. Let's try to test this concept graphically and see, will the length change to 1? Previously it is cert 93, right? Will it change to 1 when we do it like this? Let's see. Okay, this is the vector that we're looking at, C to A, currently length cert 93, and as we have did before, when you calculate this, when you calculate it like this, the length should change to 1, right? And this, each of this value here is regarded as a unit vector for component x, y, and z. So this is cert 93. If we input it, right, just if you calculate it just like we did before, right, this is what you should get. Okay, it will, the length will reduce to 1 like this. Right, this is just how we try to show it graphically. Okay, the purpose of unit vector is not to just simply change the length, right? The idea is actually to standardize the vector, right? So basically it doesn't matter what kind of vector that you have, right? Different vector will give us different length usually. However, we can standardize all of them to have the same magnitude by calculating unit vector. So all of them will have the same length, 1, right? So that is kind of the use of unit vector. Okay, in the next video we are going to talk about how to find the we have all of these vector, right? We have all of this line here. Next we are going to see on how to measure the angle, right? Thank you.